Season 4 of Warzone is finally here, and I'm going to give you 2 attachments that you need to combine together on most builds because it will drastically change the way your gun not only shoots, but especially moves. I grinded ranked all last season. I put over a dozen hours into this new season, and I've studied the numbers, and I'm going to give you the best meta weapons to use inside of Season 4 of Warzone, assuming that you can load into a game when it's not completely lagging and glitching out. But hopefully, they patch that somewhat quick because besides that, I've actually been enjoying the new season. Minus the fact that they removed solos. I'm not even going to get started on that conversation right now. Let's go ahead and get into the meta weapon. So if you don't know by now, the new LC10 is the new SMG that dropped into the meta, and it is the best SMG to use inside of the game. But on top of that, there is a specific combination of attachments that you need to check out. Okay, the very first one that we need to take a look at is the new G-Grip. Okay, the G-Grip not only helps out with recoil stabilization, horizontal recoil control, and most importantly, hip fire to ADS accuracy. That will give us the effect of what the Strelok laser gave us. Now, if you're not familiar with the Strelok laser, this laser right here, it gives us a better hip fire to ADS accuracy. And what that means is basically the moment that we begin our ADS animation, we have the accuracy as if we are fully aimed down sight. Typically, in all other Call of Duties in the past without these sorts of attachments, your bloom would be wide, wide, wide until you got to full ADS, then it would be 100% accurate. With this Strelok laser and now the G-Grip, which combines both the benefits of the horizontal recoil control of the vertical foregrip and the hip fire to ADS accuracy of the Strelok laser and aim stability, it allows us to basically, we will have one bullet that lands off target when we begin that animation, and then the rest are all going to be on target, which makes it to where our ADS stat isn't as important as it used to be, because as long as our centering is good, as it should be before we start shooting anyways, it doesn't matter that our ADS time is long. We just need to start shooting faster. So we're going to be building our guns for faster sprint to fire, faster dive to fire, faster slide to fire. So that way we can continue, as you can see, like even all the way down there. Like I'm hardly even all the way ADS, and I'm not centered perfectly there, which is why I'm not getting those shots. You're continuing to be fully accurate even though you're not fully ADS. All that being said, there's a reason why we're combining these all together. What we're going to do is we're going to take the G-Grip, which once again helps out with recoil stabilization as well, which takes away some of that shake away from the gun, horizontal control, which normally is what the vertical does, and the laser, what the Strelok does. It's an all-in-one must-use attachment. Then we bring in the CQB grip, which once again helps out with the dive to fire, slide to fire, sprint to fire, because we don't necessarily care too much about our ADS because we don't need to be fully ADS to be accurate. All of that being said, we'll transition into the rest of the guns that we're going to be looking at today. This is the LC10 8 attachment that I'm running. We have overpressured, balanced stock, CQB grip, extended mag 2, G grip, reinforced, compensator, and then now we get to basically put an attachment on top of everything. We don't have to run iron sights because the underbarrel takes up both the laser and the underbarrel slot. And as you were able to see there, right now, it is the fastest killing SMG inside of the game. And it also shoots extremely straight, and it's very forgiving as well. You can hit multiple shots in the stomach. You can hit multiple shots in the arms too, I believe, and it will still have the ideal TTK, unlike some other ones that were like, you had to hit all chest in order to reach that ideal TTK. Real quick, take a look at the recoil pattern. If you're not convinced, the LC10 absolutely is worth upgrading. Here's the recoil pattern for the LC10. You'll see there's like a small S curve, and then it goes up to be pretty consistent. Compare that to the C9, which was the previous meta. Hard left, hard right, hard left, hard... It's not horrible, but that right there, that's going to cause you up, hard left, up, hard right, up, hard left, like will cause you as opposed to just up, smooth right, up, smooth left. C9's not bad, but the LC10 is just way too easy to use and way too good. Okay, here is your 8 attachment LC10 build. Make sure, if you haven't already, you take a screenshot. Also, if you haven't already, make sure you check out the Iceman Isaac merch drop. We've got the Iceman Isaac loadout tee with the loadout logo on front. We've also got the Verdansk helicopter tour t-shirt. We also have some more minimal designs, some tactical designs. We have some hats as well in both black and white. That'll all be linked in the pinned comment and the description. Very high quality stuff. I'm thrilled with how the designs all came out, and we have them all in stock in person, ready for immediate shipping. So if you want to rock some Verdansk swag, want to support me in the Academy, It's an amazing merch drop. I'm really proud of, really love the designs. That'll be linked in the pinned comment and the description. Without further ado, let's get on. I do want to include the Grakova, which is my secondary gun that I do recommend using. If you're like me and you prefer some 8 attachment weapons, this is my go-to secondary. As you can see, it absolutely laces, has a lot of damage per mag, and even though it kind of has like that awkward tack stance hip fire, it still does very, very well. Okay, we have the weighted stock overpressured CQB grip because we don't need to wait for the full aim down sight. We want to shoot this gun fast. Usually I'll get 1 kill and I'll take someone's 5 attachment weapon off them or their 8 attachment SMG. This is just kind of like bridging the gap until I can get another 8 attachment weapon in my hand. Extended mag 3 and reinforced barrel. Make sure you take a screenshot. Moving on from there, let's go ahead and get the 5 attachment LC10 before we forget about that. A lot of the same things hold here. I don't necessarily need the stock. I don't necessarily need the overpressure. Those would be nice, and I don't need the optic. This is my go-to for just a 5 attachment LC10 if I don't have the luxury of getting an 8 attachment. Fortunately, it has a very clean iron sight, just like the OG LC10. Definitely a worthwhile gun using if you do like a 5 and 5. The LC10 is very usable with a 5 attachment, and the loadout is right here. Moving on from there, the number 1 AR is still the number 1 AR. Only one thing has changed here from the previous build is we went from a vertical foregrip over to the G grip. The G grip with that recoil stabilization makes it shoot even straighter. And because we now have the G grip helping out once again with that ADS accuracy being so fast in the ADS animation, I got rid of the quick draw grip for that faster ADS because now I just want the CQB grip to give me the fastest possible sprint to fire. You'll see 160 millisecond sprint to fire, which means if I'm in one of those situations where I'm using an SMG and I need to swap to my AR to just, finish off a 1v3 situation, I'll be able to get that gun up quick and shooting extremely accurately, even though I may not be fully ADS'd yet. You'll see I'm getting hit markers before my gun is even fully ADS'd because of that Strelok laser built in to the G grip. But for ultra long ranges, it's still an absolute laser. Krig actually got a buff this season with even more bullet velocity. It's so dang good. And here is the screenshot. If you want it, it is overpressured with the Dobrik sight. I'll go ahead and bring it up right here. Make sure you take your screenshot right now. Moving on from there. This is one, or real quick, we'll go ahead and take the 5 attachment. For this, I go ahead and opt to not rock an optic because I think the iron sights are clean enough on the Krig. The 5 attachment Krig for me still has amazing bullet velocity, still has the ability to rip people all the way across the map, but I do not opt for an optic on my 5 attachment because I really like having that overpressured. With that overpressured, you'll see I have 1400 bullet velocity, and for me, that's just way too worth it. So this is what I rock for my 5 attachment Krig C. Make sure you take a screenshot. Now, a gun you may have seen in the intro is one I think is severely slept on. The Marine SP is disgusting. I had to turn off rapid fire because you can't use rapid fire inside of ranked, but this is my 7 attachment Marine. And dude, I'm telling you, if you played Blackout and you enjoyed like the MOG back in the days, your ability to just throw a shoulder, boom, take out 250 of someone's HP, throw a shoulder again, or even just throw an impact nade. Like, I have gotten so many free kills off of just finessing with the Marine SP. This is like my favorite solos weapon to use right now. Shotguns never really do justice inside the firing range, but shotguns and bots have never interacted well, okay? Don't trust it based off of this. Give this gun a try. I promise you, it's some of the most fun I've had playing Warzone. It has been a huge surge of dopamine. You can see I have this thing max leveled. Like, it is so much fun to use. Rapid fire, Strelok laser for reasons we've talked about. Combat, Ranger foregrip, long barrel for the extended range, modified choke, and the Kepler microflex. Make sure you take a screenshot. Now, I also do have a 5 attachment for it. The 5 attachment for it's actually pretty much just as good. It's just missing the rapid fire and it's missing the optic, which you don't really need the optic. Rapid fire will speed you up a little bit, but it's not necessarily a necessity either. Make sure you take a screenshot right now. If you guys are enjoying these builds and you're appreciating the fact that I'm not giving you a whole bunch of guns that are just trash and just trying to fill it up with multiple, I don't want to spread this out over multiple videos, close range and long range, because I don't feel like there was enough to really cover, but there is some really worthwhile to use guns inside of this video. So if you appreciate me not breaking it up into multiple videos, if you appreciate me giving all the information on my my best kept secrets away. Do me a favor, drop a like on this video and subscribe for even more, because I have a video coming out tomorrow on some movement secrets that are no clickbait, like actually game changing for how I move across the map, and you do not want to miss out on that. Make sure to drop a like and subscribe for tomorrow's video. Moving on from there, so we have the LC10, the Krig, and the Marine done. HDR continues to be a classic right now. The HDR 5 attachment that I'm rocking with, I choose to rock out the Blandwell scope because I like the dot scope. I don't like the traditional scope onside the HDR, and I don't like the fat bezel that goes around your screen. I like the Blandwell 7X, and I'm absolutely lacing with this gun. You have some options if you like the default scope. You could either throw on something like a quick draw grip, or you could throw on something like a 4-round mag so it aims down sight a little bit faster, but I prefer the clarity of the Blandwell. Here is my 5 attachment HDR, pretty much the only sniper worth running inside of Warzone. Now, there are 2 sniper supports that you can run inside of Warzone that I would highly suggest. Okay, and we'll get onto those real quick after I show you the 8 attachment. Here is the 8 attachment. You just kind of can throw on some additional things like the fast mag or the quick draw to make it a little bit better. This is my 8 attachment HDR. Now, there are, like I mentioned, 2 guns that I think are worthwhile using when it comes to sniper supports, okay? It needs to reach out to those mid-ranges, those 30, 40, 50 meter plus, right? Because the HDR can't quick scope like a Kar 98 can inside of 50 meters. So it needs to be able to reach out and be dominant within there. There's 2 that I think are worth using. One is the GPR, okay? The GPR, I think, shoots a little bit straighter than the FFAR, which is the second option in the newer gun. But I think most people will already have the GPR fully unlocked. As you can see, GPR, complete laser beam, like almost straight up and down recoil, great bullet velocity, fantastic time to kill. The FFAR is technically like slightly better, but if you don't want to level up the FFAR, or you're just looking for something that you already have leveled up, the GPR will treat you well, okay? Here is the 5 attachment GPR that I'm using right now as a sniper support. How many pictures are you gonna have of me on your phone giving the thumbs up? And here is the 8 attachment variant of the GPR 91. Now, the FFAR, I've actually been working on leveling up. I was sweating my butt off yesterday with the LC10. The FFAR actually does have the potential, though. At first, I thought it was going to be absolute cheeks. The FFAR is growing on me a little bit, okay? So some things that I would want to change once I have this fully leveled up is I would want to bring it to a reinforced barrel so I have a little bit more damage range. And then also, I would want to bring the rear grip from an assault grip to the CQB grip for the same reasons we talked about earlier, so that way I'll have faster sprint to fire if I do need to clear out a building. But for the most part, you'll be able to see how this gun shoots, right? Because that's only going to help me out with damage range, and that's going to help me out with sprint to fire. It's not a recoil thing, right? So you'll be able to see how this gun shoots right now inside of the game if you were to use it as your sniper support. As you can see, that was the GPR line. Here's the FFAR line. I think the GPR is a little bit easier to shoot. Technically, the FFAR does kill faster by a little bit. It's going to be a little bit harder to control, but it also does have a really fast fire rate, and that kind of gives it a little bit of that forgiveness on the time to kill. But just something to know, you've got 2 amazing options right now for sniper supports between the FFAR and the GPR. So the FFAR will give you the 8 attachment build first. Here is the 8 attachment build for the FFAR. And then for the 5 attachment, same thing, CQB grip, reinforced barrel, and then I would encourage you to try running it with an iron sight, with some bright iron sights like I typically do. Unfortunately, in their infinite wisdom, just like they messed up the Kilo iron sight and the Grau iron sight, they messed up the FFAR iron sight as well, even though it was iconic. Don't even get me started. But it's still clean enough that you absolutely can use it as a 5 attachment FFAR. And this is my 5 attachment FFAR build. Moving on from there, one more thing that we need to cover is some alternative SMGs, okay? The C9, real quick, here's the 8 attachment C9. Once again, I would suggest running the LC10, but if you don't have one right now, this is something that you could be running as well, which is the C9. And then if you're not a fan of running the C9, then I would suggest running even more so, one that I prefer even more, which is the Ladra. In my opinion, it goes LC10, Ladra, C9. I think the ladra shoots a little bit straighter than the C9. I think the LC10 shoots a little bit straighter than the ladra. This is my 8 attachment ladra. Once again, going for that reinforced G grip, CQB grip combination, and it's an absolute laser beam. It's what I was using to hit iridescent last season. This is my 8 attachment ladra. Make sure you take a screenshot. Here's a quick preview of it if you haven't seen it shoot before. It's a new gun that came last season. Very fast recoil. Very controllable recoil. It does have a little bit of up and down. Keep in mind, this is going to be kind of like a close range, hitting out a building type of weapon. You would have a krig. This is not a sniper support. Very fast killer. But again, I think the LC10 is just way too good to use. Now, there are some other ones that I want to check out. There's some new guns that have come into the game. They're supposed to have buffed some of the LMGs to make the LMGs a little bit more usable. I've heard some things about some guns with rapid fire that might be good. I'm going to have to test those out, vet those out, but I wanted to give you guys some early guns to use over the weekend as the new season begins. These are all absolutely cooking. Give the Marine shotgun a try if you haven't already. If you're trying to absolutely sweat it out, go Krig LC10. Once again, the HDR GPR or the HDR FFAR are going to treat you very well as well. Hope you guys enjoyed me running through this. If you haven't already, check out my merch drop. It's linked available in the pinned comment and the description. Make sure to subscribe because I have an awesome video coming tomorrow with some hidden movement techniques that I've been eager to share with you guys, and there's a big announcement that comes with that, so make sure to subscribe for tomorrow's video as well. I'll be live over on Twitch later tonight playing some more Warzone. Hope you guys enjoy this. Drop a like if you did, and I will see you all tomorrow. Peace.